It's 20 minutes, but it's funny how you can watch 20 minutes and you're like, wow, they really resolved that quickly.
Nerd On.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Nerd On, the podcast you didn't need, but you deserve. And guess what? It's Morphin Time!
Yeah, baby.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
I've always wanted to yell that, and I wasn't allowed to yell in the house when I was young. So this felt really good to do.
Yeah.
I got beat if I were you to yell it, and it was totally worth it every time.
Totally worth it. Totally worth it. Well, welcome to, actually, today while we're recording this, I know we kind of threw it out on our Instagram here. I don't know when this is going to come out exactly, but it is the 25th anniversary of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I think that's crazy.
A show that is near and dear to my heart, right? Because it was only 7 years ago. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 7 years.
It's like that thing where I think 30 years ago is 1970, but it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
But yeah, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This is probably the TV show that got me into like, holy shit. There's some like
into life.
Cool stuff out there.
Yeah.
I had all the toys. I had the flip head toys. I had all the weapons that built into this like super gun. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You had the axe, the sword, the two sai.
The axe, which was actually a gun too.
Yeah, right. Well, I think they were all guns, right?
Yeah, I thought
they all combined into this super weapon.
Yeah,
that was
they
just
can all shoot
dope.
at the same time.
I had the Megazords that you could. It was like 6 different pieces you could put together, and then then the movie came out, and the eagle could just strap onto it.
Goes right on it. Yep.
You're like, what? Retroactively fit onto it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm super excited about this episode.
Yeah.
But let's go around real quick. I'm Corey.
Ollie.
I am Josh. I am doing audio stuff at the same time.
Yeah, he is.
So
Don't worry, we'll carry you.
Yeah. That's how it works.
This is Tom, because, you know, Tommy Oliver.
Tommy Oliver
Green
over
Ranger,
here.
White Ranger, Red Ranger, Black Ranger. All the Rangers, the best Ranger of all time.
So many Rangers.
Carries the team. I carry you guys.
I have a really special story that's near and dear to my heart
Go.
that I'll share.
Yeah, please.
In a little bit, or right now?
I can share right now, right off the top. Right now, it doesn't matter. So when I was a kid, I think after my first grade, I'm Persian. My parents are from Iran. We moved there, and I spent my second, third, and fourth grade in Iran. Mm-hmm. That's where I was. But I was totally Western kid. Like, I had my Nintendo with me and all that stuff.
Yeah.
When I came back,
You were saying slang and riding skateboards.
So exactly. Before we came back, like a few months ahead, my dad came to like get a job and like find a place and all that stuff. When we came, he picked us up from the airport with Happy Meals that at the time had Zords in them.
Holy shit.
The best Happy Meal ever.
That's awesome.
And that was kind of like my introduction to Power Rangers. And then after that, it was just it was all uphill.
Downhill. It's all uphill.
All uphill.
It was all uphill
from there.
So
in
that's
the
your
best
first
positive way.
introduction to it, and then you watched the show
Watched
after
the
that.
show,
Movie.
the movie. We had my brother and I had the allowance to purchase
Shout out to your
one
brother.
action figure. Shout out to my brother, not one each, but one together from Target. So we it took us like 6 or 5 weeks,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
6
yeah.
weeks to collect all the ones that were available, and they were the ones where like you could switch the head.
Yes.
Like it would like go back into its torso, and it
Yep.
would have the without the helmet or with the helmet.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that was like me with Power Rangers.
Yeah,
and
the
then,
flip
of course,
heads.
all the-
Yeah, the flip heads. I still have all of them, actually.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I have
Yeah.
everything except the green. I don't have the Green Ranger's chest piece anymore.
Because it was a 2-piece.
And it broke apart
Yeah.
so easy.
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
two little stubs that you just put in little
But
holes.
I still
yeah.
have 2 Yellow Rangers, 2 Green Rangers, and then all the rest of them.
I
Wow.
used to love putting the gold armor piece on the Red Ranger because
Oh, yeah, 'cause that episode, yeah.
when they had to go get the Brachiosaurus looking thing,
Yep.
because all the other Zords got destroyed.
The Titanus or
that was
something
still
like that.
Jason.
Yeah,
That was still
back
Jason.
in the day.
But I was going to say, I also have, I don't know if you remember these, they had flip heads for the movie as well, and they were all shiny. So I have a shiny White Ranger.
Ooh.
I remember those.
Yeah. I'll post a picture of them
Oh
next
my
time
god,
I
it's all
head
coming
home.
back to me.
You know, all these toys that we talk about, like these retro toys, and you're like, oh yeah, I still have them. I'll post a picture. You still have not done that.
I haven't gone home. They're all up north with my family. With my mom.
Oh, God. Okay.
So I haven't gone home yet.
He hasn't
Yeah,
gone
yeah.
home. We've all been held captive because of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But next time
That's
I go
okay.
home,
Yeah.
We're just
I'll
squeezing,
bust them all out. I got Ghostbusters from the animated TV show, Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I got it all.
Man,
Gotta
squeezing
bring 'em down.
nostalgia out of us.
I have Street Sharks.
Street sharks.
Someday.
we got to do a toy like show and tell stream.
Oh, you know what? Someday we are going to have Nerd on HQ. That's
Yeah.
a building.
And it'll all be there.
And it'll all be there up on shelves and whatnot.
I thought we were going to be a turbo yacht in the middle of the ocean.
Well,
We
that's
could
the
do-
zombie apocalypse. Back to Power Rangers.
Back to Power Rangers.
I like it to be Nerd on Tower. pretty much.
So that's Ollie's kind of first experience with
Yeah.
the show. Was getting the toys, watching it, falling in
Yeah.
love with it, and then with his brother saving up for the rest of the toys. Josh, what about you? I kind of did mine. I was just in
Yeah.
it from day one.
Power Rangers were near and dear to my heart when I was a kid. You would come home from school. It was on Fox Kids in the afternoon. And I loved the Power Rangers. They were my jam for years and years and years. It was kind of like, because Ninja Turtles was kind of a late 80s, early 90s kind of thing. And then they kind of petered out a little bit. And then the Power Rangers took over. And that was the game that you played. You weren't playing Cowboys and Indians.
Yeah.
You weren't playing cops and robbers. You were playing fucking Power Rangers.
Power Rangers and putties.
Yes.
Ding, ding. All of them get hit.
And then remember the ones that finally had the little thing on their chest, and
Yeah,
that's where you had to hit them.
Oh man, Lord Zed, he was a
Yeah,
badass.
dick.
Anyway,
He was just all brain. That
yeah.
looked like
His whole body was all brain.
Yeah, exactly.
sinewy and yeah. But no, I fucking love the Power Rangers when they started going off, like when it wasn't the original.
It wasn't Mighty
Yeah.
Morphin.
Yeah, when it wasn't Mighty Morphin, that's when I
They
kind of
lost Jason, Trini, and Zack.
I'll have some trivia with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I petered off. I was getting older, but I mean,
I did too, because you're invested in those characters. You're not
Yeah.
invested in the suit.
Right. Yeah.
It looks cool. It looks dope. You want to see the people you like put on the suit and be badasses.
Exactly.
Not these other people who showed up for
I don't
a
need to
movie.
see Rocky. I want
No.
to see Jason. I want to see Tommy. I want to see Kimberly, Trini, Zach, Billy. That's
that's
who
what it
I want to
But
see.
but Adam,
I don't
Johnny
give a shit.
Young Bash.
I'm a toad.
He was like the
we were
voice
talking about this
actor of
earlier.
all voice actors.
I don't care, Tom.
I didn't know who that was at the time, though. I don't think he was at the time either. That was all after, I'm sure.
I mean, regardless.
Are you saying Jason wasn't in the movie, right?
No.
No.
It was Rocky.
That's why. Cause we were talking about this, and I was like, I don't remember Jason at all.
Nope.
It was because my strongest memory of Power Rangers is the
The
movie.
movie. The movie that almost never got made.
yeah. Fun fact about that movie.
Is that ooze?
I say my uncle, but no, not my like biological uncle.
No, I'm
but
saying Ivan Ooze.
Oh, yeah,
That
yeah,
was
Ivan
Ivan
Ooze.
Ooze. Yeah.
The guy who's Ivan was Belloc from Raiders of the Lost Ark. But my fun fact
that.
is my uncle, by proxy,
Shout out to your uncle.
recorded the theme song for the movie. His name's
Oh.
Eric Martin from a band called Mr. Big. He's singing on that.
No way.
And it's the
Wow.
coolest thing ever to watch that movie and just be like,
Wow.
that's dope.
nice.
Dope as shit.
Dope.
My unky.
Yeah, shout out to Eric.
Yeah, so I mean, I was totally I got all the toys. My favorite was Saba, the Gold Ranger. I love that. All the Zords, you know, that was good times. You know, all my friends would get together and play Power Rangers and whatnot. But I fucking love Power Rangers. It's my jam. What about you, Tom?
You know what's funny? I think
Tommy Oliver.
again, since I'm the youngest one here, I remember. So
Dr. Oliver.
yeah, as a kid, you know, I went by Tommy a lot, and actually, I knew myself as Tommy. Like I didn't know myself as Tom or Thomas or my other legal name that none of you will ever
Chitty
know.
Chitty Tom Tom.
Yeah. But if you do want to know, you should support us on our Patreon. Anyways, but
Support us on our Patreon. We'll tell you Tom's legal name.
my legal name, baby.
That's gonna be a hidden post that's only available to our patrons. Tom's real name.
But
My God.
my favorite colors always change with Tommy's outfits.
Okay.
So when I was a kid, it was
Green.
green. Then it became white. Then it became red, and now it's black. But I'll get into it because
But he's still, I mean,
well,
Jason David Frank.
Well, unlike you guys, I'm a little younger.
shout out to Jason David Frank.
Shout out to Jason Frank. I love him. I follow him on
Dude,
Instagram.
can I just stop you for a second? I know you're about to get into something, but ever since you had me start following on Instagram,
He's the best.
he is the best person to his fans in
He's
the whole
so
world.
nice.
That's awesome.
Shouts them out.
Yep.
Like, always takes a picture with all of them. I mean,
Love it.
There was a big going on with the side tangent. He helped apprehend, you know, the the cosplayer with like real weapons and like had guns with them. I
didn't know that.
Some kind of like convention, and then they had like be really like on top of it. And it was
he teaches kids mixed martial art.
Yeah, and he works with the guy who plays Rocky because
and he's got like
so Jason David Frank is good with Muay Thai, and Rocky is good with the jiu-jitsu stuff or judo.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
but
Go on.
well, I was gonna say, I really love it. I think he's got so much love for the thing that made him famous. There's a lot of people who get really jaded about it, and they're like, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But he is just like, he knows how much it means to people. He knows how much
He's
people
embraced
love
it.
him for it. Yeah, and he loves it. It's like, this is the thing that made me who I am. Because they all came from martial arts or gymnastic backgrounds. So the only thing it did was elevate his martial arts career. And so he just gives back so much. And he's got like really great things to say about everyone he worked with on even there was some online fake ass beef between him and Austin St. John, Jason.
Yeah.
And they both just went online and were like, nah, we good. Like we may have said some stuff when we were young and stupid because I found out recently Jason, Austin St. John, when he was on the show was like 19. And Tommy, Jason David Frank, was actually like 23 and had a wife and kids. So like they butted head every once in a while, but he's like, but that's not anything I've held on to for like 20 years. So
Yeah.
Right.
I respect the both of them.
He actually has some real beef with like actual like martial art fighters.
Yeah.
And he could fight them too. But anyways,
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
yeah, or NCM Punk.
Yeah.
actually.
Anyway.
So Power Rangers, like, so again, I was younger, so I feel like I actually got into it not when it first came out because it's 1993, and I was like 2 years old.
You enjoyed more of the extended kind of.
Well, I
series.
remember, and it's funny because I remember having a VHS, one of those box VHS sleeve things I always talk about, and it was Green with Evil. Or Evil with Green Ranger.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was just seeing
Where they make the Green Ranger.
it was just seeing the Green Ranger and then like getting some
that terrible evil laugh.
okay, that became my template for
He
the evil
still
laugh.
does that, y'all.
And it's great. I think I love it. And that's what I was like, oh, the Green Ranger's evil. I don't like him. Because I didn't like bad guys, right? Like I was a kid. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I like the good guy. And later on, watching it more, I was like, oh, Green Ranger is a good guy. And he's got Godzilla Zord. And so I was like, I'm totally dope with Godzilla. I love Godzilla.
Let's be real. It's just Godzilla Zord.
It's Godzilla Zord. Yeah. But I kept watching it and watching it. And after Mighty Morphin, after the entire original cast left, I kept watching it and watching it. And then I stopped because it got real weird. It got to like this mystic forest. I was like, I'm not about these wizards.
Is that when Saban?
That's when Haim Saban left. So, yeah, it's been part of my childhood. Like Tommy Oliver has always been like a big influence in me and like kind of being like the new guy that comes in the group, but also becomes the leader later on. I've always loved that kind of archetype.
I'm sorry. He didn't just like become the leader. Because I was rewatching it. He just is the leader.
Yeah.
There was no like, I'm going to work towards that.
Yeah.
He becomes like the Green Ranger and
just
Zordon's like, and now you are the leader of the Power Rangers. And it's like,
Sort of. So it's like he becomes the Green Ranger becomes a good guy, right?
yeah.
And then he almost dies to a candle.
Yeah.
I hated. I was
Come
like,
on,
the thing
man,
that
it
takes
makes
him
sense.
down is a candle.
Yeah. It's the secret powerful camera.
No, it's not. And so
Candle.
It's kryptonite.
he loses it, and then
And then the white light.
Alpha 5 and Zordon are being
Go off in the
hella like
closet
they're
and
being
they're
like
like-
hella sketch, and they're like the rest of the Rangers are like, we don't want another Ranger, we don't need anything, blah, blah, blah. And then it turns out to be Tommy, and they're like, all right, cool.
And then he's just, you are now the new leader of the Power Rangers. And it's
Yeah.
like, Jason's
It
like in
made
the
sense
corner,
though
like,
because he's the guy who almost single-handedly defeats
Destroy
them all.
Well, like
And I never forgave him for it when he was the Green Ranger. I was like, I know you're cool now, but like at any moment they could trick you back into being bad.
but the dragon whooping
has
the shit out
nothing
of
on the
like
Tiger
a
Zord,
T-Rex and a saber-tooth tiger. Come on. Godzilla Zord.
Nothing on that
Godzilla
saber-tooth
Zord
Tiger
is as
Zord.
big as the Megazord.
Dude, no. The Tiger Zord was the shit.
Yeah.
Nah.
Was the
dog.
shit.
we'll talk about this, but
Anyways,
sorry,
so
we're taking
let me
away from your
finish.
story.
So yeah, I kept watching it, and I'd like to kind of bring this to a little bit of the history of Power Rangers, and something I think I shared with Ali that like he completely was flabbergasted by. As a kid, we don't notice this shit. We just see cool fighting and all that stuff. But I mean, like small little Easter eggs,
Oh,
like
yeah.
how Trini is an Asian woman, but then the yellow Power Ranger counterpart is a man.
Has no skirt.
No skirt, because it's a localization. It's taken from the Japanese show, the original show. And what I found out recently was actually the sequences that we saw, which was quote unquote the first Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, is the 16th installment of the original.
I didn't know that.
The
Holy
16th
shit.
installment
Wow.
of the original, and parts of the second season are still part of that. Part of that 16th installment, and then it just followed suit after that.
Wow.
So once it became a huge hit in Japan, then America brought it over and was like, cool, we're just going to take from where you guys are at, run with that, and then take the localization. And like, so what I'm talking about is like all the sequences with Tommy and Jason when they're in school and all that stuff is all shot in America. Saban, you know, had the approval to make the American localization, got the actors and everything like that, all the casting. But all of the fight sequences when the Power Rangers are in their suits are all stock footage from the Japanese Zayu Sentai blah 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 Rangers. I'm totally not going to try to pronounce it because I'm going to
I learned it too a
And
couple
the-
weeks
the
ago, but I
villains and
forget.
stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to disrespect the Japanese culture or anything like that, so I'm not going to try to pronounce it. But yeah, so there's that. And so the cool thing is that I think what I love so much, I've watched Jason David Frank's Mighty Morphin Life, which is a YouTube web series that he has, and it's pretty much like goes through a year of his life. And he talks a lot about like his influences from Saban and how when Saban lost the rights to continue producing Power Ranger shows for America, that's kind of like when things kind of went off kilter. They had so many spin-offs. They went from Zeo to like SPD. They went from Wizard Mystic Force and all these different iterations that we all lost track of.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like now Power Rangers, at least now in 2018, I'm dating this, has a little bit of like a resurgence. Is because
Did they ever
yeah.
come back to?
Saban came back, I'd say probably around 2007.
And Jason David Frank actually said he wouldn't do episodes if Saban wasn't involved.
Yes. And so that's when Dino Thunder came around. And this was new dinosaurs. And it was kind of like, is this kind of like a reboot? But it was only 3 Rangers. It was red, yellow, and blue.
Oh, interesting.
And I had a crush on the Yellow Ranger. I thought she was cute and she was a singer. Anyways, but then the Zordon-like character was Tommy. And it was the Tommy played by Jason David Frank. And he became the Black Ranger. And it was really cool because he ended up having to fight different iterations of himself. The cool thing is like now you have new American polish to these suits that we saw from like decades ago from the Japanese stock
There's a
footage.
White Ranger too?
He looked really dope.
I never watched any of this. He does look dope. Look at that. White
And-
Ranger in this Dino Thunder
Wow.
looks dope as shit.
And you know what? He
he?
was evil. He was evil.
Started off evil?
He started off evil. But yeah, so you see like
He started off evil, became a good guy, and he has a chess piece.
yeah.
So it's really just a reboot.
Oh, but yeah,
But
really
it
cool.
works. I'm not saying it didn't work.
Well, I mean, it's weird because one of the main bad guys is part dinosaur.
Oh.
it's a really weird show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still, I mean, in a weird way, I still follow it now.
What's with the like feather sword thing?
I don't know. Don't worry about it. But anyways, Tommy is like
I
that.
don't know.
And I mean, it's made such a resurgence into our culture today where, you know, we have now new video games, new mobile games on it. Boom Studios is doing their new comic book with Kyle
Yeah.
Higgins. We'll get into that. And, you
I
know, the
also
new
think-
movie that came out from Lionsgate.
I also think Funko
Oh,
Pop
man.
has had a huge hand in a lot of resurgences of things.
It's kinda
'Cause they
like-
keep bringing
yeah.
back classic stuff.
It's kind of like a hot topic where they kind of made nerd culture chic.
Yeah.
They've made it very...
It looks, I'm obsessed with Funkos. I'm obsessed.
Oh,
It's
I love
okay.
them.
It's okay.
When are we going to get our own? Anyways. But I think a little bit of the history and a little bit of where it came from
Yeah.
could bring us into some newer topics.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think we kind of all touched on our favorite aspects of the show a little bit.
Yeah.
But can we go around and just say our favorite Ranger?
Well,
can do that.
I still want to talk about some favorite aspects for
Oh, okay.
me. Like, I think the big thing for Power Rangers became for me. It was my first look at heroes. It was my first look at like alternate, like dual identities. It was my. I mean, and the TV show for me as a kid was the beginning of all the stupid tropes. You know, like, hey, we have to do an episode about
Right.
drugs. We have to do an episode where people switch bodies. We have to do an episode where this one gets jealous with that one. We gotta get one where this person's fear is. We gotta get one where like you learn about this person's family. Where this one has to like.
Teenagers have attitude.
Yeah, and so I mean, in
What was the original?
the original is Zordon's like Alpha. We need 5 humans emotionally
Overbearing.
overbearing humans. He's like, oh, teenagers.
You mean teenagers?
Which it's
Oh, no.
Richard Horvitz as Alpha 5, who was Invader Zim. So shout out to him.
Yeah,
That's
and then
pretty cool.
After that, then the entire intro for all the episodes became like, I need 5 teenagers with attitude. So that's why it's a big Mandela effect where everyone's like, oh, it says that. It's like, no, that's not actually the real line. But-
I can talk a little bit about favorite aspect, and this kind of ties into why it's lasted so long too. It's a show that incorporates everything that kids like. It's got people they can relate to.
Yeah.
It's
Pretty
got
girls.
superheroes.
Kids,
It's got-
they want to be.
Right, yeah. It's got superheroes. It's got robots. It's got monsters. It's everything. It's
true.
everything you want as
And-
a kid.
and, I
it's
mean-
got weapons. It's got dope fights.
There's
like,
the freak of the week. There's the lesson, the moral of like how to defeat them. It's like we have to use
Friendship.
trust. It's like this one you have to use your brains to beat this villain. It's like this one, blah blah blah.
but also robots.
yeah,
But no,
Giant
'cause
robots.
You were saying that they want to be. I mean, what? Like Billy was a huge nerd and had no powers. Like,
but he was
He had
really
in the
powers.
first
smart.
episode,
He had
like,
the same powers.
well, no, I mean, what I mean is like all of those guys had like karate experience or
Yeah.
gymnastics
Yeah,
experience.
Well,
the
he
first
used his
thing
brain.
he's the first thing you see when they all get jumped by the putties. He's like,
Yeah.
like
he
even when
saves the
Kimberly
day.
gets grabbed by two people, like she could still get out of it.
Yeah.
He saves the day multiple times. He's the reason that Alpha 5 got unlocked. Green
Yeah.
Ranger shut him down. He's the reason that they were able to locate Jason.
I'm not saying that
Yeah.
he has no importance.
I wanted to be him.
What I'm saying is that
I didn't want to be
I'm actually defending him.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm trying to say is that
If you shut up, Corey.
Wow.
no, what I God damn, I hate it when mom and dad fight. No, what I was
talk to
talking
me.
about, because everybody was saying, oh, that kids wanted to be, and what Corey's point was that they identified with, and it's like, yeah, you can identify with Billy. Billy didn't have strictly. He didn't really have fighting skills, nunchucks. Like, he just was this guy that was very smart and nerdy and whatnot. And then he's given powers, and it gives him powers. He's
relate
able
to
to
him.
fight. He's able to, he's
Little Corey related to him.
I did.
You know what? The one thing I loved about this show, and we'll compare it to the movie, was that all of them were friends.
Yeah.
All of them
Yeah.
liked each other.
Yeah.
Because this was the 90s. This is the 90s all about like anti-drugs, anti-pregnancy, anti-like
They were hanging out
clubs
at the
and-
juice bar,
anti-clubs and
which
gangs.
is also a
Youth-
karate gym.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a youth center.
youth center.
And that was the thing. Like, you go to the youth center,
Angel
you
Grove
stay
Youth
out of the
Center.
streets. It was so family friendly. So like, I wouldn't say progressive, but very like teaching the kids to like kind of like find productive ways to stay out of
Yeah.
bad things. Like learn
They
martial
were all
arts,
friends prior
learn
to being Power
gymnastics.
Rangers.
Yeah,
Even
like,
Bulk and Skull.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'll
all of
talk
it.
about them a little bit.
I mean, the entire show I felt like was a big anti-drug thing, where it was like martial arts is my anti-drug, gymnastics, like science or dance.
Well,
like
at that time, I mean, just in culture, I mean, Dare was a big.
Yeah.
Dare was a big after-school
Which I
program,
think
or
they proved actually didn't work very well.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think statistically, it,
but
like,
Power Rangers did.
Power Rangers absolutely worked.
I mean, that's why I
I had
don't
to go
do-
home and watch Power Rangers. I had no time to go
But
buy
I mean, I would
drugs.
say it like, I guess for me, it educated me about drugs because I knew
Yeah.
nothing about.
Yeah,
Oh, I think that Power Rangers probably did better than Dare.
Well, and then also like
Probably,
bullying, anti-bullying. Like
Yep.
you have Bulk
Yeah.
and Skull,
Which are, by
like
the
that.
way, they are still best friends. Those two actors.
but
That's
you know,
awesome.
I love in if you watch my Mighty Morphin Life. Jesus,
You can say it one of these days. You'll get it.
my Mighty Morphin Life. Jason David Frank has this big house party, invites them. It's like so dope how like the original cast are hanging out. It's like
Yeah.
that's so
like
so
that.
awesome.
yeah.
But no, I mean the bullies of then were like, the Tweedledee, Tweedledum. I want to push you. I'm gonna like try to womanize the girl. They weren't like the internet trolls of today, but they were parodied. They were made fun of.
Yeah.
And no one liked them. And it showed what bullies really were. It's like these like weak, imbecile people where like the true strength you have is within yourself and within your friends.
And the Power Rangers even saved them, even though they're
Yeah.
dicks.
Yeah.
Like there's no like justice served thing. It's kind of like, no, you always do the right thing all the time. So
Another favorite. I mean, it was my first crush.
Kimberly.
Everybody's
Oh.
first.
Original
Kimberly.
Bay. Original Bay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Tommy, but
yeah.
I was the
fine
original
too.
Bay.
That was my first like because I talked about on the Disney episode how Maid Marian was like my first like crush, but this was my first human crush.
Yeah.
like you're real like
Non-cartoon.
that made you start feeling
That I was
things
like,
inside.
oh,
Why do I feel
girls.
weird?
yeah. What? That's
Girls.
My pants are getting tighter.
girls. Cooties.
Oh man, I
Now,
love.
Tom.
I was in love with Amy Jo Johnson.
Oh man.
A to the double J.
That name too.
I watched. She did. I don't know if you guys are aware, but she like recently did a show in Canada.
Yeah. She's a cop show.
Like a cop show in Canada, and I watched like half of a season because of her.
Well,
I was like reliving Kimberly.
That's legitimate.
So after I remember as a kid watching that and then watching Disney Channel stuff too. Mm-hmm. I remember Disney Channel used to have like late night oldies playing at like from like 11 to like maybe 3 a.m. Mm-hmm. And she was in a movie called Susie Q.
Oh yeah,
my God.
Susie Q's a great movie.
And so ever since I was like, I have to watch it because my wife's there.
Yeah, she's in pink the whole time.
Your wife.
That's my 100% thing. Like, I don't care how bad the movie ever is going to look. Not saying Susie Q is, but I will watch the movie.
That's why I've seen every Rachel McAdams movie.
Yeah. I will watch
every Kate Beckinsale movie.
Yeah,
I'll watch every Nina Dobrev movie.
And she's in pink that whole movie too.
Yeah, and so it just like
sense.
That. I mean, I just for better and for worse, the casting for the show
Mighty Morphin.
Yeah, for how racially terrible it was. But the thing is, like, every character had their own niche, and it made it so that I feel like everyone had their own way to identify. Back to Josh's point, like Billy, you know, like if you weren't the confident guy that was strong and all that stuff, like, but you had Jason who was like your buff friend who would like help you out.
I feel like there's an aspect in each one of them you can relate to.
Yeah, but then also the cool thing I like Jason. He looked like he was an implant from Beverly Hills 90210 into there, except like he was like, I could bully you too. It's like, so don't mess with my friends.
Yeah.
And then Trini's very like, hey, be smart, but also know how to kick ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and everyone just, and Zack was just like, yo, I'm gonna be your friend. I know dance. I can kick ass too, but I really want to just hang out.
I'm missing one of my fingers.
Yeah.
That whole thing. Did you know that?
No.
He's missing one of his fingers.
That's okay.
I just never knew that growing up. You never noticed it.
He dance fight.
Yeah.
He dance fights. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool with
His
that.
own martial arts.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what I love. Like each character had your own way to identify with somebody in there. And the thing is, like, if you didn't, then you wanted to be one of them. As a kid growing up, like, I don't know, to me, those are like the ultimate role models, I guess. And I think that's a really sad thing for me to say. It's like my fictional characters
No,
I
don't think it is.
are more role models than some of the people I grew up with in human life.
Yeah.
But
I think that's part of nerd culture.
yeah.
I think there are heroes I have that aren't real that
Because real life is hard.
Real life's hard, guys.
Well, also, we don't ever get to meet those characters.
No.
Right? They always get to stay great and awesome. And if they aren't, then, you know, there's a lesson behind it.
I'd like to shift a little bit to the movie.
The movie. The first
Mighty
movie.
Morphin movie.
Oh, okay.
It's the only one I've seen.
Okay.
Mighty Morphin, Ivan Ooze movie.
Ivan Ooze playing his piccolo, destroying stuff. Time to pay the piper.
Yep.
That movie was
Awesome.
yes,
Incredible.
Okay.
That is my
Opening sequence, jumping out of a plane, skydiving, surfboard,
surfboards
holding out together
with their colors. Just
is like the best thing. I was like, I want to do this so bad. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that this year. I don't give a damn.
But the suits
Oh,
in that movie
looks so damn good.
looked so cool.
And when they're in the construction yard and they're fighting the little purple dudes, and then they have to go night vision mode, and their eyeballs turn to flashlights. It's like, this is the best.
Yep. There's a little behind the scenes fun fact. For a minute, they played with the ideas of when they talk to each other, not having
mouthpiece?
visors or mouthpieces on. And there's behind the scenes footage. You can look it up. It looks awful.
bad.
Because it's the first time they had them in their suits. They're like, we should show their faces in the suits. And they came to set with it, and everyone's like, we shouldn't show their faces in the suits. It's really bad. But yeah, man, that was.
But this was
and
like
Saban,
American produced film, so like they had to start everything from scratch. That's why, and that's the thing that got to me. Like I think as a movie magic kind of feel for the first time, because that's to me kind of revealed like the stark difference at the time between the production value they put into TV versus movie.
Yep.
Because the command center is so much better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Way better. Obviously, they have like a different Zordon character, and like it's all super shiny. Alpha 5 actually looks like he's not a piece of shit. Like
There's actual cinematography with the fights.
Yeah, right.
yeah, it's just
It's not
so
like
good.
Balsa wood,
choreography
like
is the word I meant to
walls where they're like,
Yeah.
good.
There goes the wall.
The one sad thing.
There goes the whole building. Someone sneezed.
Yeah.
The one sad thing I would think about the movie is like we lose dinosaurs, and then we just get like
Yeah.
like
I'll be honest.
modern animals.
I know they made a joke about it. I can't get over the toad thing.
It's a frog.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
a frog.
I know but I'm saying that.
Johnny on Bosch.
I know. I'm saying that because that's his line. I'm a toad.
Ichigo.
You're a frog. I couldn't get past that. I would be
that-
so pissed. I would be.
Is that your only reason why you're just so like?
No, I the fact that he became that, I was like, what this guy that because in all the anime shows he's always the hero, and all of a sudden like he was just Adam. He was just Adam. And the cool thing is that like so when Saban came back, Jason David Frank came back, and they've done like a lot of anniversary episodes. They do like a full red anniversary episode.
And Jason came back.
And well, they did one where like there's called the Mega episode where all of the legacy heroes come back, and Jason David Green Ranger is leading all of them, and Adam is one of the other like general leaders, and he's like in his old Mastodon outfit. I'm like, this is
it's so cool.
This is it's
That's cool.
But
They have it's a big war too, and all the different Dino Thunder. And someone, it's really cheesy because someone starts naming them. He's like, look, Dino Thunder, look, Mighty Morphin. It's like, we know, we get it.
but for all the kids that were like born in 2000, don't get it. But so back to the movie.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, go home and watch it. Go to your
Pause
grandma's
this.
attic.
It's somewhere. It's
It's
probably
in one of those
free
white
on
clam
YouTube.
shells. Was it white or is it black? I think it was white.
Yeah,
White clam
probably.
shell. There's a picture of the Earth. There's all of them lined up on top with a little bit of little Rita and a little egg
little
on top of the Earth. Go watch it. It's a movie. Just pretty much Rita opens
so
up
fun.
this Ivan Ooze egg, and then Ivan Ooze is purple looking Apocalypse from
Her
the
and
new
Zed. Zed's
Apocalypse
there.
movie.
Zed's
And
throughout the whole thing. They're married.
Well, the funny thing is that like, I think I loved about Power Rangers too is that like the big baddies became like the sidekicks of the next big baddie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like Rita and Zed became like idiots. They became
Yeah.
Bulk and Skull to Ivan Ooze.
Yeah.
Ivan
Ivan
Ooze
Ooze was terrifying as a kid. Can I just
Yeah, he
throw
was.
that out? Also, they got like an esteemed actor to play it.
Well, that's how you get a good bad guy.
Yeah.
You get a good actor because being a bad guy actually takes some.
Because it can
good-
turn out real
some-
cheesy.
Yeah.
But I remember being scared of him as a kid.
At that time, I think Play-Doh and those like green slime putty things were toys at the time. So I was like, I ain't scared of that. You throw it on people's face and you mind control, whatever. But
and the birds scared me too.
oh yeah, the bird people. Which I was gonna say, going back to that planet, I think a secondary crush happened for me.
The chick with the
Bird people.
yeah, the little sticks, and her
and the bird people were like, ah!
and her like her open midriff.
Midriff, yeah.
And I was like, why do I feel this way? Like, why does Power Rangers make me feel this way, Mom? I don't get this. It's like, is there something with the pterodactyls and the, and the ceratops that I need to be spoken about?
I don't know. Ivan Ooze is pretty terrifying looking.
yeah,
he's
I
not.
didn't. As a kid, I was scared.
He looks like Apocalypse from X-Men Apocalypse. It's not scary.
No, X-Men Apocalypse looks like him.
That's the thing I was gonna say. Like,
It's the other way around.
yeah.
Of course, but the movie ends. I don't know. I loved the movie because I remember when it ended, they got the ninja outfits, which were kind of lame looking to me. But then they got back into their new Zords. Tommy became from the Tiger Ranger to the Eagle.
They had now they have two forms, right? They had they could like morph into
Ninja
their
and then the
ninja
regular
form
Mighty
and then their regular
And
Mighty Morphin form.
Their Zord, which I loved, wasn't like a rock'em bopp'em soldier thing. He can actually do aerobic, like acrobatics and like roll around, jump, do backflips, fly, which I thought made for a good like CGI fight scene when I was a kid. Obviously, you look back, it's
Tom?
bad. Yes, sir.
You know so much.
Yeah, I just it. I
so
back
pretty.
to my point we were talking
You
about
are
with
so
the frog.
pretty.
How mad would you be if they were like, "Yo, eagle, da da da, frog"? You'd be like, that moment in that movie where
Great.
he's sad was very real for me because it's like, why is the Black Ranger going from mastodon to frog?
I'm gonna do a huge side tangent
yeah.
That's okay.
because
Tangents are
I had
welcome
that
here.
feeling. You know why? Because you could go online and figure out what your Patronus is in Harry Potter, and my shit's a vole, which is a tiny little rodent that mates for life. And I was like, cool. That's what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted. So I get him, and maybe that's why I care about him
Because it
so
was
much.
ape, wolf, bear, crane, eagle, frog. I'd be like,
Frog.
what?
Hey,
But you know what? That frog whipped around one of those little bug
Yeah.
machine things' legs and then pulled him in. I mean, Triceratops has like a
He owned
chain
it.
thingy. I mean, there's ways you can do it. But
Made me sad.
also at the very end of the movie, like after Ivan Ooze has been destroyed, everything's all back to normal.
Spoilers.
Whatever.
Jeez.
It just ends with
I
all-
hope you went and watched it and paused this.
It ended with them on the pier watching like fireworks
Yeah.
and like this like cool pop rock theme starts
Everybody's
playing.
dead.
And you're just kind of like, oh, this is like what a teenage or like a little kid's action movie feels like. So as a kid, your emotions are like on the nth level. I don't know. I I think if I watched it now,
You get a raging nerd on.
a raging child nerd on.
That's yeah.
I also had those ninja toys too from the movie. I don't know
Yeah.
if you had those. The buttons were on the back and they would like kick and punch and stuff.
Going back to toys and talking about like the history of like, you know, being the 16th installation and they localized it. I think I had the toys from when they were from Japan because they usually were like not normal 6-inch action figures. They were like 9-inch to 11-inch.
Oh yeah.
And they had like movable limbs and you can move their fingers. But the thing is, all of them had like a weird action button. So like I remember the Blue Ranger could like karate chop a lot.
Oh,
and then
weird.
like they were like Barbie's doll size. I remember
Yeah.
I like my sister had Barbie dolls. I would like stand them next to each other because they were the same size, but proportions were all different. But I had those and I was like, these look super dope. But it looked like something you totally see like at like a random gift shop. That's like, is that real or is that bootleg? But I love those toys.
I don't know if you can remember. You could buy the ooze.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
I had that.
I didn't
Smelled
buy that.
terrible.
Of course.
Yeah.
Smelled god awful.
fart in a box?
Toys back then, like you had like Stretch Armstrong.
I had that. I broke him.
Yeah, I
was
think
sad.
everybody did. And the
It's so
ooze that
stretched
was
out.
inside of it.
Yeah.
There's that weird petroleum jelly inside of him.
Yeah.
You're like, what are you telling me? So, so now we talked about the original movie. Let's talk about the remake. I unfortunately didn't get to see it.
How
You
much?
suck.
How much do we want to talk about it then?
I want to talk about all of
And
it.
Probably
I don't
not a
care.
little bit.
I don't care.
I want to talk about
spoilers.
a lot of it.
You want to talk a
I
little
want to talk about a lot of it.
I
Let's talk about it.
I wanted to enjoy it,
Okay.
and
That is like the last famous words of every critic in the world. I wanted to enjoy this, but
because seeing the trailers and stuff, and I was like, I'm not gonna give it crap for the new suits. I'm not gonna give it crap for the way the Zords look or anything like that. I'm gonna go into it and be like, all right, let's see what's going on. And like, I really enjoyed it for most of the movie. Like the first and second act, I was feeling really good, and then I feel like or like decent, and then like the third act came, and I was like, oh wait, we're at the third act already, and like there's so little Power Ranger action in the movie.
yeah.
There was
Yeah.
something you told me about this.
I was
Was
so
it you?
sad about it. Yeah. So the movie is 2 hours long.
Yeah.
that's
the last-
120 minutes for everyone at home.
Yeah. So the last, and that includes the credits. So the last 22 minutes is where you get Power Ranger action. 2 minutes
Of those 20 minutes,
of the first 2 minutes of them is fighting in their suits,
Yeah.
a bunch of rock monster dudes, and then 20 minutes of Zord action.
So you only
That's
get 2
it.
minutes of suits?
Yeah, I went back and I was like, this felt weird. So I went back and timed everything.
Wow. In the episodes, it was always like half and half.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was always
Yeah.
half suits, and then the thing would get too big, and they'd be like, all right, Zords.
But the funny thing about in the show, it was always like, we're going to get our asses handed to us. All of a sudden, they're just teleported back to command. It's like, did you not like, hey, let's leave? It was just like, boom, they got hit, commercial break. All of a sudden, back at command center. Yeah, man, we don't know what to do. It's like, whoa.
I just-
how did you
It's
escape?
because of the Japanese.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this because I want to
Stuff
talk
been
about
put in
the new
not
movie.
qualms, but just funnies.
You watched it?
What?
The new Power Ranger movie?
Yeah.
I loved all the Green Ranger stuff.
You mean the Rita stuff?
Yeah.
Spoilers!
Oh yeah.
I mean-
Rita's the Green Ranger.
So
I figured
Elizabeth
that
Banks
out. You could see
plays
she
Rita
has the
Repulsa.
staff in the promos with the little
Yeah.
morphin thing in it.
the
I thought
thing is
that was
that
no knowledge. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Well-
Go on.
Well, what I was gonna say is that, like, watching the new movie, I was actually kind of like, "Oh, that's kind of cool, getting a little bit of backstory."
Yeah.
But if you watch Power Rangers, the original, you start getting, oh, okay, I see where they go. Oh,
They
okay,
went with that.
Okay, I
Yeah.
see where they went. Oh, okay, I see. It's not like they just pulled it out of their ass.
So one
There
thing,
is some stuff.
So the thing that he's specifically saying, so the green with evil,
yeah.
Rita
It's supposed
has
to be green with envy, but it's green with evil. how it works.
Rita has the Dragon Zord coin, and she creates her own Power
Ranger.
Ranger, the Green Ranger, and we'll talk about that how it leads into the comics, which is really cool. But in the new movie, Rita Repulsa is the Green Ranger, and Zordon is the original Red Ranger.
was.
Was whatever. Whatever
Which is
happened.
Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So whatever
previous
so,
generation.
So
Dope.
the first sequence you see in Power Rangers is a bunch of aliens getting destroyed on this like destroyed planet, landscape, whatever, apocalyptic. And
Which is
Rangers
Earth.
are getting shot, destroyed. It looks like the short film that I think Katie Sackhoff was in and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone made a big deal about it. And the Red Ranger all of a sudden like takes off his suit, and then you see Bryan Cranston crawling through like the muck and the trenches and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, it's not really. I mean, it's
Whatever. Well, it's his face, no?
Yeah.
it's like an alien, like You don't
It's not
see Bryan Cranston.
but
Right.
It's an alien played
He's an
by
alien.
Bryan Cranston. Anyways, who's the
geez.
Red Ranger?
That just went on for a while. So
And-
now I want to know.
And then so it kind of sets the plot in motion where you realize that the Power Rangers got killed off. You don't know why, and you just know that it's Rita. And then Zordon becomes the face in the wall thing, and you end up finding out slowly that Rita was the Green Ranger. And she had her own power gem, and she wanted to be the most powerful one. It like ended up turning her because it's an evil one. Yada yada. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. I didn't like some of the liberties like they made with a Goldar, how he's made out of gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like having some of the original, like things like, oh, there is a Goldar is nice. It's good like fan service, but changing him completely to like
Completely?
not like this blubbering idiot. I don't
Would
think
you prefer the blubbering idiot?
I would.
not like a blubbering idiot, but almost maybe like
Well,
like someone that served like a Bane purpose. So I
Yeah.
don't like the way they did Bane in Dark Knight, but like he's the muscle. He's the one that does all the thing. But I'll tell you this right now, when Rita first got like reanimated, that was scary. That was
Yeah.
like scary when she's like murdering like little security guards or cops. I was like,
Yeah.
should not be a kid's movie. Like this is actually kind of horrifying that she's sucking the life out of things and like stalking them. But I mean, the movie, like you said, like was pretty much an hour of just teen angsty
Yeah.
stuff that's shot like a Transformers movie.
Right.
Where, I mean, there's cool stuff. And then, like I was mentioning before, they do an exact opposite of the original series where none of the people like each other. It started out like, when I watched it, it looked like a moody Breakfast Club where they all have detention.
It is.
They shouldn't,
Moodier
like,
than Breakfast Club already is.
Like
Yes.
way moody. What you talking about?
Way
Oh,
more.
and the entire time they were in Zords, they
No, Dad.
They had
What
no
about
mask on.
you?
they had no visor. They had like that weird their helmets because it's all like transformery stuff.
They had what you wanted in
They could,
Mighty
like,
Morphin.
Pull it back a little
yeah,
bit.
it pulls it back for the entire like 20-minute Zord.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Here's a fun little thing I just like remembered about Bryan Cranston being involved with Power Rangers.
He was in the original series.
He was in the original series twice as the voice of two monsters, and he's the reason that Billy Cranston is named that. The guy who wrote for the original series was friends with Bryan Cranston and was like
Oh,
Billy
Cool last
Cranston.
name.
I'm sorry, I'm spacing out because my mind just blew
Got
up.
balloon? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloom?
Got balloon. Yeah.
Got Orlando Bloom.
But anyway, so it's cool that he's still involved with the series.
Yeah.
I thought
yeah,
that was really
that's
awesome.
awesome.
The
It was a
moment-
good pick. It was a good choice.
The
for
moment
him.
he got put in there, I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to definitely watch this movie.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there was nostalgia. There was the fact of, like, I hope that that new generation of kids can enjoy something that I enjoyed in a similar way, but not different. Because, it's a different generation. We have iPads and
Yeah.
phones and stuff like that. So it's going to be
People's
totally
attention
different.
spans
the humor,
are much shorter.
I like the humor. It was genuinely funny. I didn't roll my eyes at like anything. Nothing was like super cheesy to me.
Yeah.
So that was like, okay, this is headed in the right direction. And then like,
and-
I have high hopes. I'm gonna see the second one. I'm
If-
assuming they're gonna make a second one.
It may or may
Did
not.
it do well? I don't know. I don't know.
It did not good enough to where it's in question.
Got it. Okay.
And I think they're trying to like get it with like the DVD sales and like any type of merchandising because I think they want to do it. I think they've written the script for it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Actually-
I know Jason David Frank, he was out of the loop for a really long time, and I think it was until like Lionsgate was like, "Hey, can you make an appearance?" Him and Amy Jo Johnson, which is
That was
really
cool.
dope. It's a
It was
reason
great.
to watch it.
I'm glad they put it in there.
Yeah.
I will
Can
say
I
about.
just
Go ahead.
Never mind.
I was
don't
just
know.
gonna say one thing last thing about
Yeah.
the movies. What broke my heart in the original one was seeing Zordon
Die.
as a little gray raisin.
Oh,
Like just sad and yeah.
Makes me think of those California raisins, the ones that used to dance.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. But my question was, does Bryan Cranston look like that in the film?
no, he looks
Well,
dope.
I mean, it's the right color.
He's like grayish.
Yeah.
Well, the cool
Okay.
thing, so like how Zordon was like a tube,
Yeah.
like he's along a wall.
Oh, he's
His
like a
face
plasma
is
like a
screen.
curved
He's like
wall.
a curved screen.
Yeah, but his face
HDTV.
comes out.
You remember those?
Oh, he's a
old-
3D TV.
Yeah.
With
you
a
remember
curved
those?
screen.
You remember those things when you were a kid that were like 1,000
your hand in
nails?
it.
Oh, yeah.
And you put your hand in it, and it would make like the
Your
image
hand
on
Oh
the
yeah,
other.
yeah, yeah. The
That's
little
kinda
pins.
like
the
that.
That's what they
pins.
did with him.
Okay.
Yeah, you put it
kinda
on your
like that.
face.
So he's got a
And
he's
he
got a
would move-
3D TV version of the pins.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool. I like that.
So I mean,
What, what I was gonna say is, if it weren't a Power Rangers movie, we'd probably be okay with it. It's kind of like one. Just wait. Good golly, Miss Molly.
That's Mr. Molly to you.
Mr. Molly. Well, it's kind of like I think we were saying earlier, like with Corey and being avidly against the Jumanji movie.
Jumanji.
And I've
Gamungi.
seen it.
Gamungi.
I've seen it. Loved it. Tom saw it.
It's a popcorn movie. I enjoyed it.
It was okay. But if it were not related to Jumanji, people would be okay with it. Is that what we were kind of?
Let's say like
Be
this.
more okay with it.
Let's say
Be
it
more
like
okay
this.
with
For me, where I sit right now, I'm more okay with this. Someone saying like this is their run of Power Rangers than someone saying this is Ryan Johnson's run of Luke Skywalker.
Okay.
I think this made more honor to the Power Rangers that what Ryan Johnson did to Luke Skywalker. Because what I was gonna say, one thing I really, really, really loved in this was that Zordon wasn't all knowing and all perfect.
He had flaws.
Yeah,
he was
had
like
a lot of flaws.
So his main thing of like getting the kids to become Power Rangers was so they could activate the morphing grid and he could get his powers back and take down Rita. And then at the there's a part, spoilers, there's a part at the end where Billy is
pretty much
he
dead.
died.
Yeah, he's
he
dead.
died.
Whoa.
And then the only thing that could take him back was power from the morphing grid. And then they got it, and it was a point of like where Jason was like, "Do I give it?" Jason, who's played by the douchebag in Stranger Things
Billy.
season 2.
Yep.
Jason, played by Billy, who saves Billy, and God, he has to make a decision like, do I give the power to Zordon or do I use it? And he gives it back to Zordon, and Zordon has to like then go back beyond his way because he's like, there's new Power Rangers. I'm no longer that. That's not my way anymore. That's not my path.
So he saves Billy.
So he saves Billy. And I thought, I was like, that is more development
Yeah.
than any of what I saw Luke
Yeah.
Skywalker go through. But I don't know, that I thought that was cool. Like the fact that there was generations of Rangers. Because in the American adaptation of the original series that we saw, it was like, you are known as the Power Rangers. They're famously known around the universe. Like, no, they're not. We don't know about them. And this one here, it shows you a little bit of that backstory.
Yeah.
It gives you some reason to believe.
Yeah.
And it plays off very much like the pilot episode where like the kids don't want to do it at first. They come back and they try. They don't get their powers immediately and all this stuff. They train a lot, which is, I like the showing the development that
Right.
they don't get their powers right away like Rey does in Star Wars.
Because I'm going to see it when I can rent it. I, having not seen it, and maybe you can maybe attest to this, the suits.
Oh, I'll say like,
I want to hear your opinions on those.
I'd say that the story is written like to be a Power Rangers movie, but there's could be more polish in terms of like just how aesthetically it looked like. Because the main
Yeah.
thing they needed to sell it as an alien thing, and that's why like in the middle they don't
Right.
have their sigils. They don't have.
Yeah.
Or they just have like this glowy.
It's the diamond.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
unquote.
it's a diamond, but it's like a glowy galaxy inside their chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really weird. But
I
and
didn't-
the dinosaurs look kind of weird too.
I would have preferred it to be a little bit simpler than it was, but I didn't like actively dislike it or anything. I
Well,
thought
'cause,
they
like,
they looked neat.
In the original series, they don't have the sigils.
No, yeah, you're
Right.
right.
It's in the movie, right?
Yeah.
That they added. But
Yeah.
like, I just they looked so far off from what I wanted.
Yeah.
I liked the bright color, like the original suits, the bright colors, the defined lines. Like I loved those. I thought they looked so cool. To this day, I still want the sweater that looks like that.
The only reason I was really okay with it is because he kept referring Zordon kept referring to it as your armor. It's like it's your armor, it's your armor, it's your armor. Like he said like a bunch of times in the movie.
That's okay.
And I was like, okay, I'm okay with it being more plated or like whatever it is, as opposed to like a skin tight like
I get
or,
that.
or even like a flight suit or whatever.
Which I'm okay with because, like, in the Mighty Morphin version, it looks more like armor, but
Yeah.
they still kept a really clean aesthetic. And to
Right.
me, this looks like how Transformers looks to
Exactly,
my eyes.
it's overcomplicated. Where
Yeah,
like
I
you
had
have
the problem.
a mouth opening piece. It's like
I had
you
the
don't
problem
need
with the Zords. That's where it got.
Yeah.
I was
Goldar
like,
looks super.
I don't need that to look because I.
that. Well,
weird.
like the T-Rex has like a rocket cannon in his back. The Mastodon has like 12 legs.
Well, I couldn't remember that it was a mastodon, and I was like,
What the
and
fuck is
while I
this?
was watching this, I was like, what am I even looking at? What is that thing? I don't
Yeah.
even know. I was trying to
It was-
remember what animal it was.
It had
like
what I thought when I was
6
watching
legs.
it. Yeah,
I was
what
like,
I
is
was
it the frog or like? I can't remember. What
Is it a
this
frog
supposed to
or an
look like.
elephant? Which is a question no one's ever asked.
Because it's like way overly designed, and then he flies by every scene, and it's all crazy cut action, like modern day action movies
There-
are.
yeah.
but-
That's what I was gonna say. That
Yeah.
the Zords, like, I personally, there were only a couple of scenes that you could really tell what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
It is kind of like we've said about Transformers, where it's like, oh, what? I think that was cool. It
I don't
probably
know.
was cool. I
my
have
brain
no idea.
tells me it's cool because at a base level, flashing images creates dopium in
Yeah.
my brain. Like, that's where it's at.
Shiny.
It's the reptilian part of your
Well,
brain.
we talked about that, right? We watched a video on that.
There's
yeah.
a video essay that talks about it. It talks about it.
I
But
didn't.
it's-
I didn't
it's-
really enjoy them. I thought it was an over complication.
I wish the suits, and maybe they'll revamp them for the second one. I just wish they looked a little more true to the source material. Yeah.
For anyone in the world that's listening that is probably in charge of that stuff, Ironhead Studios makes great suits. Ironhead Studios makes all the Marvel and DC costumes.
Is that the one they didn't go with
I don't know.
for Apocalypse?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because have you seen that? Anyone can check that out. Original Apocalypse.
Made by Ironhead Studios, which is in Van Nuys or
It
Burbank.
looks amazing. It looks like right out of the comics.
It's great.
and then they went with something else. Then they went with Ivan Ooze.
I would recommend that because just make it look a little bit more simpler. Like just make it like more Captain America's outfit.
Yeah.
yeah.
His like you could tell.
Oh yeah,
Captain
Captain America's outfit's dope.
They're great. I mean, or make it like Black Panther's outfit. Like it looks armor plated, but it's movable.
Yeah,
you know,
it doesn't
like
have to be like I'm not a fan of overusing CGI.
Yeah.
Like it's just like when I was watching it, it's like Goldar was just like I liked Goldar from the original Mighty Morphin Power. I mean, he was an idiot, but he was fun to it was fun.
And he could still kick ass.
I would love to see a modern day version of Goldar.
that shot from below when he gets giant, he's like, yeah. You're like, oh shit.
I mean, if anything, like the Flash's suit from the new Justice League movie would probably been a good.
Yeah.
Like,
it's got
template.
defined bright colors. You can see what's going on.
There's battle scars. There's a little bit of intricacy that doesn't need to be in there. But
the little did you find
I
the
did.
image? The little blue veiny things. I think if they got rid of those,
Yep. Yeah.
that would be that would be
everyone has
enough.
blue. Why is everyone blue?
Yeah. The helmets are good.
I'm gonna argue that I don't like the.
You don't like the
helmets.
lips?
I
No.
don't. No.
well, I mean,
Well,
the
the
lips
original
were
It
had
looks
lips.
like they're pouting.
the original had lips, but then also they could just have like the mouth guard that Optimus Prime usually has,
Yeah.
which would be so cool too.
I just think there's too much going on with each one.
You see those blue veiny things across the entire
It's a less
suit?
is more situation.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I know the original ones did have lips on them. It's not the lips that are giving. It's
Like,
the
why
whole
don't you take
aesthetic.
liberties there?
The
Get
thing
rid of
about it
lips.
is, in the original one, each of their helmets looked like the dinosaurs, and they're kind of going for it there, but
Yeah.
it
But
misses
it's
the
not
mark for me.
kinda.
It's they're all
They
too similar.
forewent a lot of design to make sure that they could pull the visors back,
Right.
and I don't think they need to do it. I don't think they need to pull it back.
Some
They don't.
some spoilers for you, Corey, but something that I really enjoyed and I loved. And I remember in the theater, I was sitting on gum, but I was still happy to see this. When they
Glad
get
there's no scripts.
Sorry.
when they get the Zords, they do the Go Power Rangers theme.
Oh, okay, I
And they
like
had
that.
the dun-dun-dun. I was like, oh, this is it.
And you
This is the
see
reason.
Tommy and Kimberly.
I was like,
So you love that?
I liked it.
I felt it had no place in the movie.
To me,
No
I was
place.
just like, this is it. Because it's funny. I was talking to a friend, Netta. Shout out to Netta.
Shout out to Netta.
Talking about hero stuff and things like that. Like, what's happening with a lot of the characters now is like you're not seeing a lot of like triumphant moments where like at the nick of time where a woman's falling from a building, all of a sudden, boom, got caught.
Yeah.
It's like that's the hero part.
Right.
So this to me felt like cool. They got their powers. Now it's time to kick some ass. Or it's like now it's time to save the day. It's like cool. This is it. It wasn't like pomp and circumstances. Like just actually be in the moment at the right time, in the right place. It's like, hey, we gotta go. We gotta go.
What up, Josh?
Can we return to the source material real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would like to talk a little bit more about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we were laughing about this before the show, but the acting.
It's terrible.
God.
Oh yeah.
So
It's so
Well,
wonderful.
it's also the writing too.
Yeah.
Though it goes hand in hand.
yeah.
I mean, it's 20 minutes, but it's funny how you can watch 20 minutes and you're like, wow, they really resolved that quickly.
That's the thing. Yeah.
well, I mean,
It was friendship, guys, all along.
Always
Every
friendship
time.
and as a kid,
triumphs.
we don't notice it, but now watching as adults, and we're just like,
Oh, yeah.
oh man.
But that's anything you
anything.
revisit. You're like, oh, man, I was a dumb little kid.
No, I mean it's I like Tom said, it was made for teaching you morals.
Yeah.
They need to make it simple because kids aren't going to follow complex storylines like that.
I mean,
Because parents aren't going to let kids watch violent fights without.
Actually, there was a big complaint between season 1 and season 2 that they had to get rid of the weapons. So they have pistols in a lot of the early episodes, and then they don't have them anymore because parents complained. Just like how they complained Ninja Turtles 1 and 2, there's no weapons in Ninja Turtles 2, and you're like, that's fucking half the character is their
Yeah.
weapons they use.
that's what a ninja
So there,
is.
you see Michelangelo flipping sausage links around and
Doing a Jackie Chan.
anyway.
Oh, man.
But
Parents, it's
Like
not a big
Leonardo,
deal.
you have swords on
There
your
was
back.
there was a study that just came
Whining
out.
about Mortal Kombat. Come on.
There was actually a study that just came out like a week ago proving that video games do not lead to violent tendencies. Fun
no,
fact.
they let
I
you
believe
get,
it.
they let you get it out.
Yeah.
They let you get it out so you don't
They teach
actually do that
eye-hand
in the real
coordination.
streets.
I know we don't have a whole lot of time left, but I want Tom to talk on the comics for a little bit because I've read one and I've seen a lot of images from them and they look dope as shit.
Yeah, they look awesome.
So-
they look really cool.
So like I was saying, with the resurgence of Power Rangers coming back into like the mainstream now, Kyle Higgins, who I've had the pleasure of meeting, shout out to Kyle Higgins, awesome dude. He was a Chapman fellow. He made a film about superheroes in Union, and it was a period piece. And when he did that, DC Comics was like, "Yo, like, could you do some Nightwing?" And then when we started doing some Nightwing comics, later on, through the grapevine, he ended up starting working at Boom Studios. And Boom Studios started doing the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic books. And Power Rangers have always had their own comic books, but this was a very serious retcon, a take on it. And the first issue takes place
Back
right
to
after...
Mighty Morphin.
Yeah, takes place right when Tom becomes a good guy. When he's out of Rita's control.
White Ranger. Oh no, Green Ranger, good guy, yeah.
Right out of Rita's control. He's a Green Ranger, and he's fighting images or hallucinations of Rita, telling him like, you're gonna let everyone down, no one likes you, like Jason's the real leader, like people don't want to save, people have to save you, people wouldn't save Jason because he could take care of himself, like people care about Kimberly, they don't care about you, like Billy's smart, like all this shit. And it's like a really the one thing I loved about it also showed parents, and it showed like how they have to defend their parents, which I loved that they did that in the movie. But the really cool thing, I think, the explosive traction that the comic book is getting is that it's starting to open up new worlds. So what happens in like one of the first issues is that Rita's like the dragon coin is creating green chaos energy, and it opens up a rift to another dimension. Oh. And in this other dimension is a whole like planet of Power Ranger generals. And so there's really cool stuff where like there's a Red Ranger general and he wears like a cape. And then there's like infantry like Black Rangers, and they all have machine guns. They're all fitted with their with the stock outfits that we've seen to have like better outfits and better armor.
So cool. And then there's the big bad guy whose outfit is
Lord Draken, and he is a amalgamation.
Yeah, amalgamation
of the White Ranger and the Green Ranger.
Oh wait, I've seen
so cool.
Jason David Frank
has a cosplay outfit of it because a fan made it for him.
It's baller.
Yeah,
it's
so amazing.
Cool.
It's like the dragon mold, but with the white and gold look on the face,
and then the shoulders and the chest piece.
The shoulder plates are green and gold, and it has the dragon symbol on it.
It's so cool.
The thing is that he can co-opt the green power morphing grid. And the cool thing that they explore is that the morphing grid that the Power Rangers use is different than the Green Ranger's power grid. And so why do I bring that up? There's a part where they all lose their powers and they can't access the morphing grid and they have to fight armies of putties and armies of other rangers.
Yeah.
And then Tommy's like, okay, if I'm going to be the leader, I need to start taking responsibility and leadership roles. And so he gives them his power with the morphing grid. So they transform to their respective Power Ranger outfits, but they're all green.
Oh, damn.
So it's awesome. Super dope. The show is starting to get into, not the show, the books, I think I've already gotten to the point, but they just passed this arc where they're going to the Mighty Morphin Psycho Rangers. And so
I kind of want to read these.
They're
now,
chaotic.
Oh, dude, I want to read these so bad.
There are chaotic looking chaotic versions of these Rangers, and it's so dope.
Holy, yeah! I'm telling you, if
there's something that's going to reinvigorate the franchise,
and here's Jason David Frank,
everyone
in the
at
costume.
Home, pause this and Google, or don't pause this, keep listening and Google Lord Draken Power Rangers.
It's so cool.
It's enough to just get you motivated to just read a couple of trades.
Does anybody out there know Jason David Frank? Anybody?
I would love to.
No. Anybody? Have him on our show?
Yeah, I'd like to have him on our show. We have reached out to him. Tell him.
Or support us on Patreon so we can take one of his Muay Thai classes.
There you go.
There it is. Yeah.
Based in LA?
Yeah.
There you go. I'd like to take the last couple minutes here and go around and say what our favorite Ranger is. Who our favorite Ranger is.
And then favorite non-main character.
Yeah.
What?
Non-main character.
No, that's not. I'm not going to be able to do that because
I can do it. I can do favorite non. But Tom, you go ahead and start.
Oh. Favorite Rangers? Green Ranger.
Green Ranger all day.
Tommy.
Favorite non-main.
You got me the Funko.
Yeah, I know I did.
Favorite non-main? Probably, I count them as one person. Bulk and Skull.
That was mine. God
Bulk
damn
and
it.
Skull is one character. It's so dumb. And they remind me of people I work with that.
All right, now I got to change mine. So, Josh, you go.
Mine's going to be the White Ranger.
White Ranger?
It's definitely going to be the White
Tiger
Ranger.
with the Saba?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely going to be the White Ranger. Just that whole, when we went back, when I went back when we started talking about making this episode, and I started rewatching it, I started getting like reminded of things, and it was like watching the iterations of the Zords, and like when it came to be like the Thunder Zords or whatever,
yeah.
and the White
Samurai
Ranger
looking.
would like come together, like anyway, White Ranger is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Like all day, every day, non-main.
Yeah.
Is his name Ernie that runs the?
That was my next one, you son of a bitch!
The juice bar guy.
Yeah, it's Ernie.
That's dope.
You're
That was my
welcome.
next one. God damn it.
That's so
He
good.
was just
God
always
damn it.
there to serve juice, and he was always so like, "Hey guys, well I don't know. Have you seen Jason?"
He's just like Wilson, the neighbor Wilson.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
kind of just a good guy.
For me, I would say, I think I have to say Green Ranger too.
Yeah.
With
That's
the,
okay.
The
Green
Godzilla
Ranger.
original.
That's what they meant.
Godzilla Zord.
Godzilla Zord. Non-main character. Geez, I think I like
Five.
Alpha 5. Can I pick him? No, I think it's the one of the bad guys with Rita.
The one with the glasses.
The one with the glasses that can like make shit.
Finch.
God damn it!
Finster.
I was just looking up his name. You guys
Finster.
fucking suck.
You can pick the same one.
No, I don't want to.
Just for
Corey doesn't
variety's
get
sake.
one.
I
Variety's
don't
sake.
have one.
His is Scorpina.
Yeah.
Or Lord
Scorpinus.
Zed.
Lord Zed was badass. I
He's
just have to
main,
say,
he's main.
He's main, yeah.
he was badass.
Then Goldar.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next one.
But he's
I got it for you.
I
but
know.
isn't he main?
He's main technically.
He's the first villain. He's the
Favorite
absolute,
Ranger, Corey.
He's,
White.
no, Corey's favorite
red,
non-main
actually.
character is the putty with the hand that's the rock.
Actually, it's probably the eyeball monster. I had a toy of that. I loved it. It shot eyes out of its chest like boobs, and they were attached to strings. If anyone had this toy, you'll remember you could pull the strings back and then shoot it.
Yeah.
Again.
Oh, I think I
Yes.
might have had that,
Yeah.
actually.
That's my favorite non-main because I had that toy. Actually, my favorite Ranger was Jason,
That's
and then became the White Ranger
Yeah.
afterwards. But Jason has a special place in my heart forever.
Jason, I mean, he was the leader.
Yeah.
Who the fuck makes your leader the not leader in like 20 episodes? It's like,
Yeah.
hey, by the way, he's not gonna be the leader anymore. It's like, whoa.
Well, because fans liked Tommy too much. He was supposed to stop after Green.
he
was
wasn't
evil.
even. I think that's so amazing that Jason David Frank is so in the Power Rangers universe when he was meant to be just like, it just hardly in it.
So he was so popular
lot
with
of shows do
fans that
that.
they made him the lead. But Jason, and not any of the other ones. Jason specifically is my favorite Red Ranger.
Yeah.
Once Jason leaves, Tommy all day, White Ranger.
All day,
With
all day.
Saba,
Nice.
dude. I just noticed too, Saba and Saban. That's interesting.
Just want to let all the fans, let everyone at home playing. We went specifically with Mighty Morphin. Because
Yeah.
we cannot possibly go through
No.
all of the series in a good
They had
hour.
Zords that were cars.
They had Zords that were not wearing hockey pads.
Oh my god! Why'd you set him up?
I lobbed it. Like
Yeah,
it
you
was
did.
just like I didn't even see it
Yeah,
coming.
there was Cars vs Turbo. That was the second movie about him.
There was one that was like a pirate ship.
I
Yeah.
don't know, but I was the one I could jump
We
off.
So
can't
many.
we can't go through all of
Let
the Power
us
Rangers.
know who your favorite Ranger is. Where can they let us know? Of Mighty Morphin, yeah.
Mighty Morphin. All of our social media stuff is on our website, nerdonthepodcast.com. You can find all of our screen names and following information.
We got Patreon, we got t-shirts, we
Yeah,
got new
we've got all
stuff coming.
sorts of
Keep an
stuff.
eye out.
Yeah.
If you want to know in the know about what merch is coming, Patreon.
Patreon
Yep.
it up. But yeah, nerdonthepodcast.com has all the information, has our information. Go to the About page, click on each host, and you'll find our infos.
Sweet.
Yeah.
for listening.
I think that is
Yeah.
everything.
That was good.
Yeah.
I love
Felt
Power
good
Rangers.
to talk about that. I
Yeah.
know. I have to go buy the rest of the Funko Pops now.
Everybody at home, as always.
Nerd on.
Ending broadcast.